Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we'll give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. So today we got a great show. Let's get straight into it. So as you guys know, we've been covering this whole LeBron James free agency period, right? And if you listen to the mainstream media, they will have you thinking that, you know, LeBron left the Lakers on his own terms. He's in the power seat right now. Teams are trying to reach out to him and all of this and all of that. And I'm like, wait a minute. None of this makes any sense, right? If LeBron had all of this demand in the marketplace, he'll be signed already, right? He would have got a max contract, the max contract that he felt that the Lakers should have given him. Another team would have offered him that money by now. All the guys, the major guys have picked up, they've already been picked up. All the guys that are getting paid a lot of money, they've already been paid. Just today I heard that the Toronto Raptors and Kawhi Leonard are even in talks right now talking about an extension. So the guys that are going to get signed are going to get signed, right? But nevertheless, the media was trying to spin it. ESPN especially, they've been lying their asses off for days, like 4 days. So we did a show on Saturday, and big shout out to Ric Bucher. And I think we probably got the most traction of this particular story on YouTube. I'm sure other people did, a lot of people did it as well, but on YouTube, I think we're the ones leading the way on this particular story here. And Ric Bucher essentially called out all the lies. He called out the lies to the point where now people like Shannon Sharpe are coming after Ric Bucher because he just told too much truth. And what you can't have in sports media, especially people on TV, is truth tellers. So we want to play what Rick said originally because this is what Shannon Sharpe was attacking yesterday. Take a listen to Ric Bucher's original comments that we played on the channel.
All right, before I go, I do want to touch on the LeBron James situation because I've been wondering how this was going to play out ever since the Lakers acquired Luka Doncic and it became clear that they were ready to move on without LeBron unless he was willing to swallow a huge slice of humble pie along with a massive pay cut to stay in a Lakers uniform. How does someone who has had the incredible career that LeBron has had make an exit that befits who he has been all these years? Graceful exits, after all, have not been his thing. I had to smile when it was reported that LeBron had informed the Lakers he didn't intend to play for them next year, as if the Lakers weren't already planning for that to be the case. But kudos to the Lakers for allowing LeBron to present it that way and preserve some dignity on the way out. The Rich Paul propaganda about contacting every team in the league to determine the interest in LeBron is just window dressing. If teams were interested, he wouldn't have to reach out to them. It's a sign that LeBron and Rich are struggling with the new reality, which is that LeBron simply isn't valued the way he once was. He does not have the leverage he once did, which is not an indictment. No one is going to invest in a player who is turning 42 years old next season and comes with all the outsized attention and servicing that LeBron does. The only place that makes any sense is for him to return to Cleveland, where it all began. I can see the Cavaliers entertaining that because A, they have a very good team, but LeBron's playmaking and experience could give them a boost. And B, there isn't a player or personality currently there that is bigger than him. If he goes to Golden State, he is joining Steph Curry's team. And while it wouldn't be exactly like Kevin Durant joining the Warriors because they are no longer a championship caliber team, it would have the same aroma. We can argue all day long about who the bigger star is. Not the better player, but the bigger star. But we can't argue about the hierarchy. In the Bay Area, Steph was always bigger than KD no matter what he did, and the same would be true with LeBron. I seriously doubt LeBron wants to live that reality. If he did, he would have been more amenable to staying in LA. I also have no doubt that Pat Riley would entertain bringing LeBron back if he thought it would give the Miami Heat a better chance of winning. But this isn't LeBron going to join Chris Bosh and one of his best friends, Dwayne Wade, at the height of his power. This is joining Bam Adebayo and Giannis Antetokounmpo, two relative strangers, two guys who don't feel any particular allegiance to LeBron, two guys who are the true core of what the Heat are trying to build. LeBron would be an add-on, a complementary piece. Giannis has even thrown some shade LeBron's way by saying he's never been interested in joining a super team, that doing so is the easy way to chase a title. All of which is why going back to Cleveland makes the most sense, to find some semblance of a swan song that is worthy of LeBron's career. Thomas Wolfe wrote a famous book titled You Can't Go Home Again, which is about how returning to where we started can never be the same, because over time we change as people and the place we're from changes as well. All of which is true about LeBron and Cleveland, or the Cavs. But LeBron has broken so many precedents, maybe, just maybe, he can pull this off too.
Great. So you heard what Rick had to say there, right? And what he said made sense. And if you think about what he said based on everything that's occurred, it's true. Well, Shannon Sharpe took to his podcast last night on Nightcap to go after Ric Bucher for essentially telling the truth about the LeBron James Lakers breakup. But before we even get into Shannon's comments, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, PrizePicks. It's a scorching sports summer, and you can make all your picks on PrizePicks. Women's basketball and baseball are heating up, and with big tennis slams and major golf tournaments on the horizon, you can make your picks for all these events and more all summer long on PrizePicks, America's #1 sports pick app. I think I'm going to get into soccer this summer with PrizePicks. They're offering everything from group stage winners to goals scored, and I'm excited to watch the big stars from countries like Argentina, Brazil, France, and the US and win money while doing it. What's cool is that I can stack game winners from soccer, NBA, women's basketball, and baseball on top of my player picks for even bigger payouts. And PrizePicks is available in all 50 states, including California, Texas, Georgia, and Florida. The entire summer of soccer is on PrizePicks, all 48 countries and every matchup. And if you rep your side during the tournament on PrizePicks, you could win a trip to the final in New York. It's the biggest tournament ever, which means there's even more opportunities to cash in while you root for your favorite national sides and global soccer stars. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. PrizePicks, a preferred partner of the NBA. All right, great. So I want to play Shannon Sharpe's response to Ric Bucher here, and I'm going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Shannon here.
Acquired Luka, and he finds it funny his exit was framed as LeBron telling the Lakers he was leaving. Wow, Rick, you're breaking news. I mean, that a way to go. That a way to go out on a limb. So let me ask you a question: if they didn't get Luka, we understand that LeBron does not have the same cachet at 41, almost 42. He had at 25.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question, Mr. Bucher, and Rick was on Undisputed. If they the same age, are they getting rid of LeBron?
Nope.
So you make it seem it's like any work employment. More times than not, what happens, Ocho? The younger guy takes the older guy's spot.
Yeah. It's always been that way.
That's just the way it is.
Always been that way. Sports, corporate world, business.
Nobody is under the impression that LeBron James, at almost 42 years of age, is the same player. He's not. I've never said that, and I've been one of his staunchest supporters. I know he's not. And Luka, it should be Luka's team. Everybody knew that. We knew that was what they wanted. They was hoping AD was going to be able to be that bridge, because when Kobe retired, as Kobe started getting hurt, and he ends up retiring, they didn't have a bridge. Because see, they had a bridge from Kareem to Magic. Because you think about how it worked out. They had West and they had Chamberlain. They had Elgin Baylor. And then they had Jerry West. And then they get Chamberlain. And then you get Kareem. And then you get Magic. And you get Worthy. And then all of a sudden, a couple of years later, here comes Shaq and Kobe. And Shaq leaving. You still got Kobe. And you got Powell. And then they didn't have anything to fill that gap in. And then you got LeBron. And they say, you know what? We got LeBron for several years. But now we got AD. And AD will be the bridge. AD couldn't stay healthy. So now it's like we really need somebody. The Lakers, you gotta have a star. That's the only way it works in LA. You gotta have a star. They've always had it. It's Tinseltown. So now they have their star for the next, if he can stay healthy, for the next, 7-10 years.
He got some pressure on his ass too.
I can't blame him. Who faulting the Lakers for the decision that they made? I want to know who in their right mind faulting the Lakers. Nobody. But him going out of this notion ever since they acquired. Wow. You know what, Ocho?
Yeah.
Shannon had planned on retiring ever since he won the lottery. No ish. Of course. You win $500 million. Yeah. Ever since he won the lottery, he planned on retiring. Yep, you're absolutely right. I did. So look, he's never been a LeBron fan, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. But I think, to go out here and try to frame it like this, he's just telling them, I'm not coming back. They knew that. They had offered him something. Look, I don't know. And it says now that LeBron would take, minimum, whatever the case may be. LeBron knew there was not he knew there was not 30, 40, $50 million out there for him. Best case scenario, you're talking about maybe 15, maybe somebody could give you 20, maybe. But if you get 20, you're not going to be able to go anywhere and win. But the most was 15. That's max. Mm-hmm. He knew that.
You think he knew that?
Yes. Now, he probably could go somewhere, a Sacramento, and get big bucks. But that's just a ticket draw. You're not finna win.
The only reason why I say that because when I think about LeBron, Uncle Ocho, I really don't think he thinks it's a player out there that's better than him or more cerebral than him, more important than him if you add him to it.
There's not. But you don't get to determine your value. Somebody else does.
Yes.
So when people keep saying, I know my value, your values are based on what someone is willing to pay for it.
Yeah, and most of the time the value that.
Great. So you heard what Shannon had to say. What are my thoughts? These people want to control the narrative to the point that there cannot be any dissenting opinions. There cannot be any opinions out there that stray from the narrative that they're trying to weave and have people believe. If you listen to every other person covering the story, they're just spinning it. We even did a show, I believe, on Saturday exposing all of the media lies from people like Sham and Brian Windhorst, where they were clearly contradicting clearly contradicting each other. We pulled up all the receipts using quotes from them, not anonymous quotes or what I'm saying. We're using their own quotes that basically are diametrically opposed to the stories that they're saying now. For instance, at one point, Brian Windhorst said, the Lakers and LeBron in communication, they're negotiating a contract. And then Shams comes out and says, since free agency is open, there's been no it's a mess. And what all of this is damage control. Let's just call it what it is. This is damage control. And the reason they're going after Rick, let me tell you why they're going after Ric Bucher versus someone like me. You think all of these guys, we don't see each other's videos? Come on, man. Everybody knows everybody here. No matter if they want to say your name or not is irrelevant. We all know everybody here. If Mace can give us a shout out and he's saying, if Mace is seeing us, everybody's seeing us. But they're not going to respond to me, nor do I care if they do. But they're not going to respond to me because I'm not like, a verified name. I didn't used to work on TV and stuff like that. So they'll let me give my opinions. But as long as it's not coming from a verified source, someone that was on TV and stuff like that, they kind of let it go. But if a person like Ric Bucher says something, they attack him. Because given the fact that Ric Bucher has a lot of credibility, when he speaks, it brings credibility to his story. And that's what they don't want. That's the reason they're going after Ric Bucher. That is the bloody reason. They don't want any dissenting opinions whatsoever. They want to control the narrative from start to finish. And today you're just going to see countless minion after minion going out there trying to basically blanket social media with this narrative. But people like Ric Bucher saying, no, it's not true.